All right. So we're going to call this regular meeting and public hearing to public hearing, regular meeting to order Thursday, June 20th, 2024 at 7:04 PM. Roll call. Anthony Baldock. Christy Maria.
Here.
Right.
Hello.
We lost audio.
Yeah, Tony, I think we lost the audio from you guys.
Still don't hear anything.
Hear me now.
Yeah, you're back.
We're getting there. Marion today, not going to make it tonight. Daniel Smith.
Here.
See who's in the open seat. All right, on to audience of citizens. Citizens may address the commission on items not on the agenda. Anyone? Else? On to item 3, 4 minutes. The May 16th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. I think everybody had a chance to cross. Comments.
Just want to clarify. I don't know if we're correcting or clarifying. First page, down at the bottom, just before number 6 for business. It said that a motion was made by Daniel Smith and seconded by Steve to continue the public hearing to June 20th, 2024. We did not continue the public hearing. We did.
Tony, it's hard to hear whoever's speaking right now.
So we were talking about the last line in item 4. Hear me okay?
Yeah. Maybe if they could move closer to wherever you're sitting.
I mean, she's literally.
Talk louder, how's that?
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Basically saying that the motion that was made was not to continue the public hearing, but to table the public hearing. So that was the correction for the minutes. So if that's all right. Additions or changes, if not, looking for a motion.
Tony, can I ask one?
Yeah.
I'd ask for Zoe and John maybe to speak to the regarding the expand. No, it's just
The commission. Well. You know. John, did you hear Angus?
I did not know.
Okay, so he's asking you to take a look at the audience of citizens. What was that, Angus?
It was really basically a simple thing that I think was just a little bit of confusion. But we received, as soon as the zoning enforcement officer received the complaint, they forwarded it to us. We responded immediately to that. And then 3 days later, said that we had acknowledged that we heard it. And then 2 days after that, sent it back. So we had to reflect that, a month later, they were still waiting for a response. And I want to make sure that that it's clear that we did respond.
Right. So yeah, that should be that's correct. I think I had inadvertently said we're waiting to hear when there was some concerns about music at the Lace Factory.
Yeah.
And I think we had intended to say we're in communication
Yeah.
with the owners about it. And I think I may have inadvertently say we're waiting to hear from them, which
Yeah.
is, that is not the case. We did hear back and there was nothing to follow up on.
So,
I would say just change that to, if that, the zoning was in communication with the owners.
And that we have responded to the.
that's what it says. Okay, you guys all right with those two corrections? If so, looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Daniel, Stan?
Seconds, aye. Yeah,
All right, Jonathan? Yes. Thank you, guys. All righty. You too.
Thank you.
On to, item A, the public hearing. So again, we're still working through this with the Gateway Commission. So look, we're just looking for a motion to postpone this again to, the July 18th, 2024 meeting.
I'll make a motion to table to the July meeting.
Okay, second,
I will second. Dan, I'll second.
Daniel?
I'll second, Sam.
aye, hey, yay.
Gotcha. Yes. All right, fantastic. Okay, on to item B, special permit application, two-family dwelling in Village Mixed Use District, 55 Prospect Street, map 56, lot 122. Applicant Donald Sampson. Assuming you're here for that?
Yeah.
Alrighty, take it away.
Okay. So for the record, my name is Aaron Schumacher. I work for Bob Drummond from Engineering. Who prepared the plans, for Mr. Sampson. I assume you guys have received the plans and have seen them. Just give you kind of a quick rundown if you'd like. The proposal is basically to remove the existing trailer and shed that's on the property, construct a, multifamily dwelling. It'll be 2 bedrooms total. Driveways on each side of the structure pretty much centered in the lot, septic system kind of out.
Give it a sec.
Yeah,
I don't need to cut you off. Sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay, Tony had to step away. I'm taking over for a few minutes. Sorry, go
no,
ahead.
that's perfectly fine. So structure is kind of centered in the front of the lot. Septic systems located to the rear, a little bit of filling around the septic system itself. We posted notice of the sign and sent the mailing. We are currently under review by CRAD for the septic system. Besides that, it's a pretty straightforward application. I don't know if you guys have any comments or kind of questions you have on the plan. We'd be happy to answer and address.
Okay,
them.
Daniel or Stan, do you have any questions?
I do not. It's Daniel, I do not.
Okay,
No, I don't either. It's Dan.
okay, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Design Advisory Board. John, Zoe, Manuel, have we gone to
Yeah.
design?
I believe that Dan Bat was in direct communication, and I'll let Donald confirm, but yeah, he's met with the design advisory board.
And did we get any comments or anything, or?
Let me check our email and see if we got any responses on the.
Thank you.
Here, I'll open this and share it. So they reviewed the design context, the site design, the building design, So they said the conclusion was the design board does not recommend that the PDC require any design revisions as a condition for zoning approval. So essentially, they're saying that the design that they're proposing is okay.
Okay, nice. And then the other question would be, you're working with CRED, but no approvals yet.
No approvals yet as of today.
Okay.
It's submitted to CRAD, but we don't have.
Okay, and then one other question that I have, and Zoe, Manuel, John, you could help me with this too. The steepness of the slope where the septic is going.
Yep.
What provision could be made at the bottom of that slope so that there's no runoff to the neighboring property? It looks like it's sort of steep.
So the slope around the septic system is graded at a 3-to-1 slope. Which is pretty standard slope. These are 1-foot contours on this plan, so it looks a little bit, it looks steeper.
Correct,
But
but it's a small lot.
yep, it is a small lot. I mean, the drainage today goes towards the neighboring property. We could look at putting some sort of swale possibly,
Okay,
or a small depression to try and slow that drainage down. But it does drain that way today.
okay. But we're
And
just
it will
carrying it
continue to
down.
get that.
Okay, and then a swale or possibly maybe a berm with some plantings.
Yeah, we could consider, possibly maybe put a small depression in this area. With some plantings. If that would help in this area, and I don't know how far you would like to protect each way, but we could consider that for sure, if that would be.
If you could come up with a proposal to mitigate some of the runoff,
Yeah,
that would be nice.
okay,
We would have to wait for health approval before we approve this? Or,
You could make it a condition that in order, for them to move forward for building permits, you could approve under the condition that the CRAD gives their approval. Unless, John, you think differently.
Yeah, no, I think because it's a special permit, it's not a site plan. It's a special permit, so you can place conditions on it. I would say if you're going to do that, I would condition on CRAD not making any major changes to the grading or landscape that would force any other changes that would probably have to come back to planning and zoning. But that would be acceptable because he's going to need that before he gets a building permit anyway.
okay, so we could condition it that no major changes done to the grading or the landscape, where they would have to come back, and we could request some kind of either a swale or berm with the runoff to the neighboring property, correct?
Yes.
I mean, ultimately, the runoff is still gonna get to the neighboring property, there's nothing we're gonna be able to do about that on this site. But what we can do is basically, we can put a small depression that would. During your larger storms, your storms, but during your kind of everyday run of the mill storms, it would catch some of the runoff and help.
Okay.
But, so it wouldn't meet like the water quality manual and standards and such like that to
Okay.
mitigate the flows. There's
Okay.
be possible.
No, it's a small lot, but
It's like, yeah,
okay. So what do we want to do? Does someone want to make a motion? Either way, approve, continue?
for your guys' landscaping condition, are you looking from all 3 sides or just are you looking from one side? Or would you wanna?
What do the regs say on landscaping?
I can pull it up, and then I do also have one thing when for the public comment section of an email from a neighbor that was shared for this application as well.
Okay,
But
thank you.
I'll pull up the landscaping regs.
Okay, thanks.
So, I got section 12, landscaping, streaming, and buffer areas. And it says that for the village residential, it's 40% of minimum landscape area, which it's considered to be grass, ground cover, vines, shrubs, hedges, and trees.
All right, and then what about mixed use district? Specifically, we got,
For the village mixed use, is 25%.
so what is, I can't see it because it's so small. What is proposed for landscaping?
So we don't have any landscaping proposed besides to plant grass right now. But if you're talking about like you want some buffer, like some evergreen trees planted,
Mhm.
like I would think that that would be reasonable that we could consider. We are leaving the existing trees. There's some mature trees along this side of the property
Okay,
that will stay in place. But there's no real vegetation down this way besides junk. So, I mean, what would make sense to me would be kind of this corner, if that's what you guys would be looking. Sorry. Actually tell you, would be the, kind of the northwest corner to kind of protect that
northwest, yeah.
corner. You know, with like some more like evergreen style plantings and then a little depression kind of in front of that between the septic system and those plantings, kind of right along the front of the line. But that the commission would be looking for.
Okay, so what we would need would be a motion to close the public hearing or continue the public hearing,
Wait,
so we can get
one
more.
more thing
I'm
to
sorry?
add to that with the landscaping.
Yeah.
So so it says here, I'll share my screen again. So for non-residential uses and for, sorry, I'm trying, for residential uses with more than 3 dwelling units, the area of the lot shall not be less than the following. But this is a 2-family, so it's not beholden to these percentage points.
And to build on what Zoe's saying, there's a statement in the landscape regs somewhere that they're essentially the standards are meant to protect abutting properties from unlike uses. So, protecting residential from commercial development or residential from industrial. I mean, this is residential development in a residential area. There's,
Correct.
the landscape regs for special permits are not generally meant for residential. And in fact, this is really only a special permit because we considered it to be close enough to a single family with a accessory apartment to be considered along those same lines.
Right.
So not to say the regs shouldn't apply, but that's not what the intent of the landscaping regs is.
Okay, so, I
Could,
don't have any. I'm sorry, Stan, go ahead.
Dave, could you pull up the Google Earth picture of the over? I'm sorry, I can't. I'm on my phone at a baseball game and I can't pull it up, but I'd like to see the overview.
Of the property?
Yeah.
There are some existing trees out front.
So I think the existing trees are mostly along
I'm sorry, the side, west side.
property.
Yeah.
And there's a couple, I guess. There's a maple, there's two maples in the other corner, but they're almost like on the neighbor's property, I would say.
Okay.
I will.
So he said she had some. She went.
Okay.
Okay.
We have to do public comment during the public hearing, so.
So this is the parcel. So it's residential. There's other two families.
Both sides. Yeah.
adjacent to it.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
And one more thing, I missed the you said you had a letter or something.
Yes, yeah. Let's see. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was emailed by a neighbor, 51B Prospect Street. She said 53, but she meant the 55 Prospect. She said, I fully support passing this idea to enable a two-family home next door to mine. Anything would be better. Please expedite this permit. So that was the one piece of public comment that we received, at least via email to the zoning office.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Stan and Daniel, do you have any other questions?
I'm all
No.
set.
Yeah, I'm all set. This is Daniel. No more questions.
Okay. So we would need, I don't have any more questions either, so we need to find out if anyone from the public has any comments or questions about this application. None? All right, then we would need a motion to either close the public hearing or because we've got all the information that we need, or continue it if you think you want more information.
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Jonathan got there first, Daniel.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, all right, so we close the public hearing. Next up is old business for the text and zoning map amendment for the Gateway Conservation Zone, which we have tabled to next month. So we're up to special permit application for a two-family dwelling in the Village Mixed Use District at 55 Prospect Street. So Anybody, any questions, comments, want to discuss this, or does anyone want to make a motion to approve, condition?
If nobody has any questions, I'll make the motion to approve with the write-off of the health department. CRAD.
And with no major modifications from the health department.
Correct.
Which would include grading and landscaping. And does anybody want to add to that? Stan, do you want to add to that, that they provide something at the bottom of the hill there, such as a swale or anything to help to mitigate regular rain runoff?
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay, do I have a second?
Seconded.
Jonathan beat you again, Daniel.
Little slow in the heat today. It must be nice.
Okay. That's all right. All right, very good. So you got that? It's
Yeah.
been approved.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. On, I'm sorry?
Everybody's in favor.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, so Stan made the motion, Jonathan, all right, and Daniel, yes or no?
Yay. Yes.
Okay, all right. And I say yes, so we'll move on to new business. Any new business, guys?
I don't have anything.
Okay. On to reports. CEO report, update on 400 Commercial Drive.
Okay, very briefly on that. So at the end of last month, end of May, the Zoning Board of Appeals finally decided the administrative appeal in the town's favor. Our notice of violation was upheld by ZBA. And we are now just past, I believe, as of the beginning of this week, just past the 15-day appeal period. And Zoe Manuel, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that we received any additional appeal on that decision. So that stands. So now we're back to figuring out how exactly we're going to enforce this thing. So we are going to circle back with Attorney Slater and the first selectman, Jones, and figure out what our next steps are. But they remain in violation of the terms of their special permit for managing a certain volume of certain type of trash. So we are now free to circle back and take our next steps.
Okay. So we're not, are we gonna have a PLCD update if Marion's not here? Do you guys have anything you want to update, or shall we skip that report?
I can give a quick update. Just, we had the last meeting was with somebody from the fire department. And the next meeting is in 2 weeks, I believe. So an agenda will be going out the week of. I'll have to check in with Marion and what she wants to do next, but I think likely it'll be economic development, one more economic development conversation with the committee and hopefully with the EDC, the Economic Development Commission. And we are getting close to being done with all of the conversations, and the next will be some drafts going out for review and all that jazz. So.
Okay, do we have anything from our attorney? No attorney reports. Chairman's not here, so he hasn't got much to say. Budget?
No
Okay,
update on that.
and Rivercop Housing Committee, Daniel.
So the meeting last month, we had another presenter just talking about ways to put in affordable housing. Of note, Hartford has put together, they funded a committee to help small towns with strategies. So if we did come upon a property we wanted to work through, they have some funding to send some people in to do the legwork. And then the third thing of significance there was that with the dashboard reports that they've added to their site, they pulled the census data for the last few years, and it was very interesting to see, because then we have these flash reports that we can pull up now to see what the population is. And when you look at the age groups, particularly, we think about schools and children, it's an upside down pyramid all through the shoreline. I'm sure a lot of people are aware of that, but it was interesting to see the data right up close. We don't have any kids in the River Valley, essentially, between the ages of 3 and 5 and 1 to 2. And we have them, but it's a significantly less amount. So we have a workshop coming up on Tuesday that'll be on site, where we're going to take all these past few meetings that we've had of speakers, and we're supposed to put together something of substance. So I'll be curious to see what that'll be, and happy to bring it back to report.
Nice. Okay, very good. Thank you.
I-
Okay,
I-
payment of bill. Oh, sorry.
I do want to mention, I will share those links with this group because it's public to see on the Rivercog site. But when we're thinking about POCD and all the, everything future for our town and what's regional and not regional, those dashboards are very significant.
Okay,
Sorry, that-
payment of bills. That's okay. Any bills? None. Okay. Adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Sure, I'll make the motion, Stan.
Thank you, Stan. Second? Jonathan, thank you. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you.
How do we stop recording?
Oh, he had the control. Does
How-
he have? What do you want to put on?
We want to stop recording.
Shit, I need to stop. So, could you stop it, clarify, get what your proposal is?
For the two family?
Yeah.
Please stop it.
Yeah, what's good? Just wondering what the board voted.
They approve.
They wanted to approve it with
Yeah.
the condition that we get department approval and then landscaping and small depression. Okay.
Yes,
That's no problem.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, no, you're done. That's me. That's you. I'm there. I get the plan for you in the bottom. Okay. Very good.
Okay.
You're gonna buy the rest of the street?
We ended, we're ending full.
So you're gonna buy the rest of
Minus 10 full.
Just go look for,
It still has everybody.
He paid for it.
Just look
We're gonna end meeting full. Is that what you want?
I'm just waiting to help.
We're gonna end it.